I'm Faye Watt, and let's queer up sports. More out queer athletes than ever hit the 2026 Winter Olympics. It's finally time for the 2026 Winter Olympics, and history is being made on ice and snow. There will be more out queer athletes at the Milano Cortina Olympics than have ever competed at the Winter Games before. After a record-breaking 193 out athletes at the 2024 Paris Olympics, representation remains strong this winter. According to Outsports, Team USA and Team Canada lead the way with 3% of the American team identifying as LGBTQ+. Viewers will see queer athletes across major events, including couples competing together, rivals facing off, and trailblazers redefining what Olympic visibility looks like. For Team USA, that includes women's hockey legend Hilary Knight, a 5-time Olympian with 1 gold and 3 silvers alongside teammates Alex Carpenter, a 2-time silver medalist, and Cayla Barnes, who first made history as Team USA's youngest Olympic player. In speed skating, Olympic newcomers meet veterans, with Conor McDermott-Mostowy making his debut and Brittany Bowe, a 4-time Olympian and world record holder, returning as a medal favorite. Figure skating history is made as Amber Glenn becomes the first out queer woman to compete in U.S. women's singles. Alpine skier Breezy Johnson earned the first 2026 gold medal for USA, while snowboarder Maddy Schaffrick completes a powerful comeback after a decade away. For queer fans, this Winter Olympics isn't just about medals, it's about visibility. Let the games begin. You know, I gotta tell you that I never, ever was someone who watched the Olympics. It just wasn't my thing. I'm not really like sporty spice lesbian. It's not what I like, right? But it wasn't until these athletes made it important to be out.
Yes.
That I started following them on social, and then following them and supporting them by watching, right? Yeah. Because I mean, they're literally representing us and being in harm's way, being in countries where they can't be gay. I can go on, yet they're still being their true authentic self, you know? And you know, and their family without us even knowing who they are, you know, without them knowing who we are, you know? So this makes me so excited to know that we've got even more out competitors, and that we've already won 1 medal. I mean, this is exciting all around.
It is.
Anybody see the opening?
I saw parts of it, but it was very avant-garde and very, like, you know, Italian designer type of, you know, costumes. It was really, really, really cool and special. It was very, very well put together. Definitely a whole different kind of spin than like if the Chinese or the Japanese had done it, because they do it very flashy with lasers and all that. It was a very different kind of a show, but very well done, very beautiful.
So are you boys going to watch any of it? Do you usually like?
For somebody, I don't tune into a lot of sports, but, you know, when I start to see representation of LGBTQ, I get very curious because, you know, I want to see, you know, in terms of, you know, what we're doing and how it's being represented, you know, globally, you know, and it's so wonderful to see like the Olympics, and there's more athletes, like you were saying, coming out, and it's so inspiring because, you know, when I was growing up, there was no representation. Like the few people, like I remember like Billie Jean King and you know, just pioneering for us, you know, and it feels like a parallel like it is with Hollywood, the sports arena. It's kind of like, you know, we went through that with the 90s with Ellen and stuff and just getting that out. And so, you know, you're standing on the shoulders of people that have come before you. And it's such a wonderful to see like all of these names out there, you know, just playing something that they love.
I play a lot of in a number of, like, you know, local sports leagues like this. And I have to say, like, one of the things that I love seeing in this kind of space, right, is that, like, not only are they out in making a big difference for representation, but they're also changing the culture. So, like, for the other 97% of the people who are there, like, they make sure in some ways, and it's so much pressure that has to be on their shoulders to be like, you know, what you said in the locker room wasn't okay. What you said, like, there's so much kind of pressure on them, but that is, they're really path breakers and thinking about how they are chipping away at some of the worst parts of, you know, the toxicity in these kinds of spaces. And for that, not only are they leading the way, but they're changing things for folks to say, like, hey, I can do that. Like, and then it's beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
I don't normally watch the Olympics either, but
We're so gay. Everybody at this table is so gay.
So I was disappointed about one thing. So not the competitive stuff. I usually watch that a little bit later because usually the first couple days are like qualifiers and stuff. But I don't know if you saw when Charlize Theron came out and she spoke.
Yes.
I was really disappointed disappointed that she didn't use the word sexual orientation in describing about the inclusivity of the sports. So I was a little disappointed with that. But other
Could
than
have been
that,
an opportunity.
you know, things have looked really good so far.
I missed that, but that's a good point.
Yeah. And I miss Tom Daly. That's all.
Oh,
I liked him a
love
lot.
Tom
I liked
Daly.
him a lot,
Yeah,
you
he's
know?
great.
Oh, and the figure skaters, okay? Anything in a cute little outfit, we watch. I mean, hello, you know?
That's a beautiful sport. It is.
Yeah.
Very, very beautiful.
Yes.
And I like to see more, you know, LGBTQ plus representation around that too.
Yeah. And we did a story last week about how grinders protecting some of the players by just doing different filters so it's not all, somebody can't just see where they're at if they're in the Olympic Village, you know, which I thought was, what a cool thing for Grinder to do. They don't have to. You know what I mean?
Grindr often does. They step up
but
often. I have to say, sometimes they have really like that's incredible
Yeah.
to hear. I didn't know that.
100%. So, folks, there is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.